Hi guys, welcome back to the Honey Kitchen. Today I'm going to make over my grandma's famous chocolate chip cookie recipe with a new vegan plant-based twist so that everyone can still enjoy it and we're taking care of the planet. You guys will have to excuse me for saying cookie every now and again. I've spent so much time with the backpackers especially that even though I grew up with it being biscuits, chocolate chip bickies, I still say cookie more often than not now. So the very first thing we're going to do is turn on the oven and preheat it to 160 degrees. We're going to get some baking trays out and line them with baking paper so that they're ready to go. Once you've got your trays ready, we'll just set them aside and we'll get to making the cookie mix. So we're going to make some flax eggs, which are our egg replacement for this recipe. So we're taking 2 flat tablespoons, I should say, of flaxseed. I have a tendency to get excited and heat my tablespoons, and then my mixture becomes either super thick or super runny and it's not quite right. So 2 level tablespoons of flaxseed. And then we're going to put in water. So usually it's a ratio of about 4 tablespoons of water to 1 flat tablespoon of flaxseed. But once we've got the mix in, we can check it and just make sure that it is an eggy consistency. So I'm going about 8 tablespoons to start off with. Give that a little mix and then set it aside, and that will thicken up heaps while you're beating together the sugar and the butter. So in your bowl, the first thing we're going to place in there is 250 grams of vegan butter or vegan margarine substitute. I use Nuttelex, and there's a buttery flavoured Nuttelex which is so good. So I highly recommend that. The original recipe I think was 8 ounces of butter, so it's not actually quite 150 grams, but close enough. I think it works out to be like 246 or something like that. In with the butter, we're going to place a half a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar. And the next step is to beat this. So you can do that by hand with a wooden spoon if you like. I'm going to use the beaters just to save myself some time. We're going to start to cream together our butter and sugar, just on a slow speed to start off with. If you're creaming by hand, it might take you between 5 to 10 minutes to get the right consistency. With the beaters, you need 2 to 5 minutes with it consistently on. And what we're looking for is this slight colour change, and you'll notice a slight change in consistency of the batter as well once it goes from being mixed to actually being creamed. And I'll show you what it looks like once it's creamed versus once it's mixed. Alright, so our mix is nice and creamy now. You can see it's changed colour slightly, and the consistency is that of whipped cream, which probably is where it gets its name from. From here, we're going to add in our flaxseed eggs. So our flax seeds have thickened up nicely now, and you can see they've got more of an eggy kind of consistency there. So we're going to start to cream that in now. And again, you can use a spoon or beaters, it doesn't make a difference. I think I'm going to swap to a spoon now for the rest of the mix. So we want it to look that kind of consistency, really light and fluffy. If you haven't beaten your butter and your sugar together enough, it won't kind of come out this light, fluffy texture, and it means that your bickies won't be super delicious. Well, they'll still probably taste really good, to be honest. I was definitely always that kid that got in trouble for eating the mix instead of waiting for it to cook properly. Alright, the next thing we're adding in is just a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm obviously not going to measure that, I'm just going to dip it in. And then we'll mix. And then we're popping in 2.5 cups of plain flour, a half a teaspoon of bicarb soda. I'm just getting that half mixed. And then the most important bit, the chocolate chips. Now, for vegan chocolate chips, they're not too hard to find. These I just got from bulk bins at our local Whole Foods shop, so definitely a lot of the bulk bin places have them. They're just dark chocolate chips. If you don't have a bulk bin place near you, or you don't have anywhere you can get vegan chocolate chips easily, you can go online. There are lots of places that sell them online. But also you can just go down to the local supermarket and buy a block of, I like the green and black brand, dark chocolate, and just chop it up into pieces. Just check the ingredients to see what's in it, and if there's no milk, you're solid. So we're going for about 200 grams of chocolate chips in there. You can see that I am not measuring at all, I'm just guessing based on what I think 200 grams looks like. Yeah, that seems about right. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world if there's too many chocolate chips in the cookies. The reason I swapped to a wooden spoon from the beaters before is because of how thick the mixture gets, but also once the chocolate chips are in there, you don't really want the beaters running through because they're going to chop them up into little pieces, and I like finding those solid little chocolatey chunks in there. If you're super lazy, then go for it, it doesn't matter. Your own personal preference, whatever you want. And that's it, that is the world's best cookie dough, courtesy of my grandma. I'm tempted to eat it like this, but I'm not going to. Let's get these in the oven and we'll get some beautiful cookies out of it. So I'm just going to make little round balls. They're about a tablespoon each. And I'm just going to give them a little squish before I put them on the tray. Depending on how big you make them, you can get anywhere from like, I don't know, 24 biscuits to goodness knows how many. I always kind of make them this size. You could also make them huge and make like 12 if you want to. Depends how much of a cookie thing you are. Also depends what you're doing with your cookies. If you want to make them into like ice cream sandwiches, maybe you want to make some real big ones. That'd be freaking delicious actually. I might do that. There you go, so there's my first 12. I'll do another 12 and then we'll get them in the oven. They've gotten progressively bigger. These ones started out smaller and they've just gotten bigger and bigger spoonfuls as they go along. That's okay. So there's my first 2 trays. You can see that's already 24 cookies and I've still got so much dough left over. So it's going to make a lot. I'm going to chuck these in the oven now. They need to be in there for about 15 minutes. Now you can get them out a few minutes early if you like a slightly softer cookie. Leave them in the full time if you like something that's a little bit more crunchy or got a bit more, I was going to say thickness to it, that's not quite right. A little bit more solidness to it, I don't know. You know what I mean. Alright, so putting these guys in the oven. Yum! Oh, that looks so great! Look at that. Perfect. When you first pull them out of the oven, they should still be soft to touch. Right? What you're going to do is get them off the tray. You should probably use a knife. I'm just going to use my hands because they're used to touching hot things now and I don't think I've got proper sensation left. Chef's hands, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take them off. They are able to be broken a little bit easier at the moment, but what we're looking for, what we're looking for underneath is just a nice brown bottom. So I'm just going to take them off the tray. They are really hot, so please don't be an idiot like I am. Use a spatula or something. Heaps safer, heaps better for your fingers. However soft they are coming out of the oven, just know that they are going to harden up a little bit more. Okay, so if you want them really, really soft, get them out a little bit earlier. Oops. If you like them with a little bit of bite to them, give them the full time and they will still come out soft, but they will harden once they're cooled down a little bit. If you're brave and want a fresh cookie, you can absolutely bite into one of these straight away. Otherwise, let them cool for like 5 minutes. They'll still be warm and gooey inside, and go for it. You can see how many you can fit in your mouth at once. Why not? I'm going to put on our second batch, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. You've got it after that. All you have to do is eat the cookies. Easy. I hope you guys love this recipe as much as I do. Enjoy fresh cookies. They're so good. I'm I'm going to sit down and have some cookies and a really nice cup of tea. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Full written recipe will be down below somewhere as well, or in the description probably. And please share around. If you enjoy the cookie recipe, share it with your friends, because there's nothing like sharing good food. And if you get the chance, come and join us at a serve camp and we will feed you cookies as well, among many, many other amazing foods. I hope you all have an incredible week, and I'm sending so much love to you all. Bye.